Let's actually talk about this game legitimately. Let's break this thing down. First and foremost, I want to talk about the biggest conversation coming into this game was North Carolina's ability to guard a three-point line. You talked about it. You highlighted it. When we had Russ on, he talked about it and highlighted it. During the Florida State and the Georgia Tech game, both teams shot over 40% from the three-point line and shot very well. And were shooting not just a couple of three-pointers, but they were shooting a good number of three-pointers. Obviously, we knew that McCain and Foster and Jeremy Roach ended up, was stroking it pretty good from down deep. Filipowski's a guy that you can look at that you knock down a three or three baller. So, just looking at the stats here, as a team, Duke shot 5 of 19 from the three-point line. That is 26.3%. Let's talk about those three-point shots. What do you think North Carolina did differently to get better on the defensive side of the ball, especially around perimeter defense? Was those two games that happened, sort of an anomaly, or did North Carolina just get really up for this game?
Well, yeah, I think North Carolina really dodged some bullets.
Yeah,
They
I
left
will say that.
they left Roach wide open in transition for three. He braked it. There was a couple. They had some pretty like catch and shoot looks that they missed. Um, so thank you, Blue Devils. Salute.
Yeah.
5 for 19. Okay, so if they hit them, they might be 7 or 8 for 19, and that might make this game look a little tighter in the end. You never know.
Right.
But you only count the buckets that are made, not the buckets that are missed. It's a make or miss league, and they missed. So I think the score doesn't say they played good defense, but I thought Seth Trimble provided a lot of good defense on the Foster kid. I don't think Foster really was able to really get going at all. Jeremy Roach came out, and he was going to do whatever. He was going to do what he does. I think what I think that 3 Duke players ended up with 20. Flip,
Yeah,
McCain, and
so
Roach. So,
Filipowski with 22, McCain with 23, and Jeremy Roach with 20.
but the rest of the team was fairly quiet. The other rest of the team was fairly quiet. RJ got close to
Out of
20.
that is Mark Mitchell, who had 11. Then after that, Tyrese Proctor had 2. He was
Yeah,
one
so
of 6 from the field.
yeah.
Ryan Young was 1 of 2 as well. He got 2 points. And then Foster with 4.
So you got to really look at it. Cormac was able to knock down shots. Of course, Harrison Ingram and
Nuts.
Armando Baycott, 2 20-point double doubles, first time since Vince Carter and somebody else did it.
Wasn't Antoine, was it? No.
Might have been, could have been, probably,
Was it?
but I can't remember. I saw it flash across the screen. That's why I brought it up. I'm not no staff magician. I'm just stealing what I saw off the TV. You know what I'm saying?
A
Um,
staff magician, huh?
a
Not a
stat
stat magician.
magician. No
A stat.
stats. Stat,
Sound
boy.
like,
It's a
sound like
stat. You understand me? It's a stat magician. You understand?
I hope you know I'm gonna meme that, bro. That little
Here you go. There you go. Meme it, baby. It's a good night in
Oh
Tar Heel
dude.
land. It's a good
Yeah.
day to be a Tar Heel. But no, for real,
Yeah,
we'll
didn't
get
you
back
say
to it.
that to start off the stream with Russ and the predictors? Another day in Tar Heel land.
Another day in Tar Heel land, baby.
All right, well, let's talk about a man who had a day in Tar Heel land, Harrison Ingram. This guy,
First time.
wow. I mean, we have had a lot of conversation about him as of late, having some really struggles, like some bad struggles, especially shooting the ball. And really, started off the season pretty hot and had come down to earth, and was really struggling bad, especially during the Georgia Tech loss against Florida State as well. Had some issues against Clemson as well. A guy that I think it was like 0 for 10 at some point in time during that game, and then just brought the energy everywhere else. But not only did he bring the energy everywhere else, securing 12 rebounds, an assist, 4 steals, a block, only 1 turnover, no personal fouls on him, but scored 21 points, 5 of 9 from the three-point line, 8 of 12 from the field. Let's talk about him and the importance of Harrison Ingram, not only in tonight's victory, but for this team as a whole going forward.
Well, that Harrison Ingram was the Harrison Ingram of, the 3-point shooting and the scoring ability of Harrison Ingram. That was the early season Harrison Ingram that you saw tonight.
Mhm.
And he just combined that with the the current Harrison Ingram that's been a rebounding machine, and he's always brought the defense. So
Yes, he has.
This is probably his best game as a Tar Heel, I would say.
Yeah,
Double double. Scoring the ball, playing good defense, rebounding the ball. And he picked one heck of a game to show out. I feel like because everybody's eyes were on this game. Now everybody knows who Harrison Ingram is. Um, then you can't discount Cormac Ryan coming out and hitting some big threes. Um, those two. I think we talked about it in a chat room earlier in the game. Now there's three different players in double figures not named RJ. I mean, RJ
yeah.
only had 4 points in the first half, and we carried a 10-point lead into the half. So bang bang, my friend.
Yeah. And absolutely, Ohio podcast. That was absolutely a great performance right there. And hello to you, SS in Winston-Salem. Go Heels as always. Let's talk about
Go
Armando
Heels
Bacot.
as always.
Let's talk a little bit about him. This guy had we honestly kind of crucified him a little bit after the Georgia Tech game. And I think honestly to a point rightfully so, because his energy level in that game was very piss poor, to say the least. But he come out in this game and he said it on College Game Day. He says, I've got the playlist picked out and I'm ready to rock it. And I'm going to get a win tonight. This is the last time he's going to be playing this team in this building. And he wanted to go out with a big night. And sure enough, 25 points, 5 assists, 10 rebounds, 6 defensive and 4 offensive rebounds. Big time. 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Missed those first 2, but didn't miss after that. 10 of 13 from the field. The energy level, the way he made shots, the big shot over Filipowski that he was too little and everybody had to stomp him out real quick like a fire.
Yeah. Too little, got the foul, bang, bang, thank ya.
What's the importance of Armando Bacot in this game?
Well, I think if you go back and listen to our prediction show, we talked about how Mondo is going to have a size advantage down there on Filipowski.
Uh-oh. The sun's going crazy.
I got both. Sorry, both of them is going crazy. Bryson,
nice.
Chill. I think we discussed the size advantage that Armando Bacot was going to have in the low post, and
I'll take over for you. But honestly, we did have that big discussion about his size in the low post, but and also we kind of had a discussion. This is the next question I want to kind of roll into in a second. But the way North Carolina was able to kind of play inside out again, that ability to be able to do that, and we saw it in the Georgia Tech game. That was the first time they'd really had to do it, and pretty much all season it was something that they've been so accustomed to doing for 4 years. Then you lose all of those guys you had from those previous teams. A lot of the same faces were gone. A new cast comes in. Hubert Davis is able to run a style of basketball that he wants to play, but also with the ability of being able to go back to playing inside out. And Armando took that challenge on. Filipowski's a guy, I mean, let's call it what it is. He is a guy that can absolutely, defend, but also he can shoot. And he took that challenge on all night. And yeah, Filipowski ended up having 20 some odd points, but a lot of those points were scored with some hard shots, which you got to give credit to Duke. Duke hit some very hard layups tonight, and they just made them. They was banking them off the glass and everything. So you got to give him credit there. But Armando Bacot did a pretty good job on Filipowski when that matchup was there.
I agree.
It was a battle.
Easy.
Right. It was a battle, honestly, in my opinion, between two greats from two different schools. And you got that battle. And I feel like Armando won in the end. And then obviously the team won. But, I'll ask you, what did you see out of Hubert tonight in his coaching style for this game? That's been different, maybe.
I think he it's been the Hubert that he's not always been. Okay. So, hold on one sec. I'm still talking. I just got to take care of some. So Hubert,
some daddy duty.
Hubert employed his, employed the bench.
Mhm.
Hubert, went with who was bringing him energy and effort. I think we
Yep.
discussed. Um, I think we discussed the bench earlier, and he went with Jalen. Then they went on that big run, and I think like Russ was talking in the preview. When they got on those big runs, he wanted to see Hubert stick with the lineup, and that's what Hubert did. There for a while, Elliott could go. Got a huge rest in the second half. I
Absolutely.
think I think Elliott picked up two quick fouls. Seth came in, Jalen came in, Jalen Withers came in, and they never lost any points on the scoreboard. They stayed right around that 10 to 12 range, and they kept it. Then Elliott came in. Then, as you always know, it's going to tighten up there at the end. But yeah. So I think Hubert did what we thought Hubert was going to do, and I think he did a good job coaching this game.
I think he did too, man. And I like to see the ability, and they made it a point, and we kind of talked about it defensively, where North Carolina was gonna have to change the way they were doing some things defensively, especially on the pick and rolls. You talked heavily about the middle ball screen, and
I
rightfully
thought they
so.
guarded it well.
And they did. Now there was sometimes it did catch them a little bit kind of early, but they did a great job of being able to guard that, and it forced Duke to have to do some things that were very uncomfortable to them. Speak to that defensively. Let's talk about the whole defensive. Let's just do it all together. Talk about the defensive approach for North Carolina tonight. What did you see? Because I saw a team locked in and saying, you're going to have to just beat me. I'm going to guard you as tight as I can, and you're just going to have to beat me. What'd you say?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to look at this defensive performance, and you're going to think, oh, well, they allowed what 85 points. Oh, North
84.
Carolina allowed 85 points, but North Carolina has only allowed 70 or less the entire ACC schedule. 84. Sorry, thank you, thank
Mm-hmm.
you. So you're gonna say, oh, well, that's not good defense, but that's a good team you're playing over. That's not a Louisville. That's not a Boston College. That's not them people over there in Raleigh that think they're good but really ain't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm taking all the shots.
Yeah. This is
Um,
a team that came in averaging 81.
yep.
Team average 81.
We held them to their average and we scored more. So I mean, they're too good not to get their points. You know what I'm saying? They're too
Right.
good not to get their buckets. They're going to score, and you just got to be able to score with them. And this team can score.
Yes.
And with the size advantage of Armando in that prediction show and preview show of this game, I said Armando is going to come out. This is his last game in the Smith Center against Duke. He is going to come out and he is going to make sure that is the Mondo of 2 years ago. If
Mhm.
you're going to beat us, I'm still going to get my 2020. I don't care
Right.
what happens. I'm gonna get my 2020. So, and that's what he went out there and did. Mondo got his. Go
Right.
ahead.
He was able to go out there and go do that, but also at the same exact time, the team was able to play the style of basketball that they want to play. And I think that's the biggest part to all of this is that they were able to complement each other. The team was able to complement the talent that it had. RJ still went out and did RJ things. He was quiet there for a while, but he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
asked to do much. He really wasn't. And in the
Everybody
end,
else is doing it.
when they started to clamp down on everybody else, RJ got going. To come out, everybody was like, the focus is on RJ, 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 RJ. So what does Armando do? Got you, bro. Send it down my way. Bang. Starts to get going. Harrison Ingram starts knocking it out from the wing. RJ's just kind of facilitating. He's just a moving distraction at that point in time.
Gravity,
Elliott,
gravity.
right. Gravity. You spoke to that in the live stream that I did. I'll speak more about that in a minute too, as well. But the gravity that he brought freed up other guys. They got going. And then when Duke was like, okay, we got to stop Harrison. We have to stop Cormac. We have to get down on Armando. Here comes RJ.
Mm-hmm.
Here
Mm-hmm.
comes RJ. RJ's doing his thing. He's moving with the basketball. He's starting to score. He's getting going. And it's like, oh crap, what do we do here? And it's good to see this team working so well, getting out in transition. I just want to look really quickly here at the steal numbers. 4 steals for them, for Duke, and 9 steals for Carolina. 3 blocks, only 5 turnovers. They had 11, and they
Yeah,
had
that's
10
big.
in the game. We actually started to turn the ball over more later in the game. They got a ton of turnovers early in that game, and I think I saw the stat. It was like off of their turn, they had scored 10 points off their turnovers going into half. Or right there was
10 points off turnovers, 10-0, because we only had
right.
2 turnovers going into half.
And think about how different it was a season ago when Carolina was not known for getting points off of turnovers, because for some reason they would not get out in transition like they do. There was no hustle there, and maybe it was because you had basically two centers playing at the same time, but they didn't get out there. They didn't go do it. So the decision making on this team was good. You didn't see a bunch of dumb shots being thrown up. And I say that reluctantly, but it's the truth. Got to call it what it is. No
Those are
bunch
the
of dumb shots, and very, they even in stressful situations, they kept their poise, they kept calm and say, "Hey, we're going to be fine." Especially when Duke, and think about this. What are these games probably known as? A game of runs, right? So Duke would start hitting shots, but Carolina would answer. They would sit down and say, "Okay, you're hitting us with everything you got. Stay focused, guys. We got it." Boom, boom. That one big open 3 towards the end of the game by, I think it was McCain or Foster, one of the two. I think it was McCain. Hits that big 3. It's like, all right, what you going to do? 8-point game, 3 minutes to go. Mondo comes down, bang, bang, boom, and 1. That right there, the answer back, to have an answer. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, North Carolina seem to have an answer for every time Duke wanted to make a run. North Carolina seemed to answer it. Maybe Duke scored 4 or 5 points in a row. Then North Carolina's like, okay, settle down here and let's get our points back. Then that lead go right back up to 10, 11, or 12. But let's not discredit the coaching call that Hubert made right there towards the end when Duke started fouling on the inbound. Elliott got the ball, got fouled, 1-1. He missed the first. Duke goes down there and scores. Then, for whatever reason, John Shire takes the timeout. Well, what does that do?
Yeah.
That allows Hubert Davis to pull Elliott Cadeau off the floor. And then you got the two people that are shooting 90+% from the free throw line that can pick in the ball, RJ and Cormac. So I mean that was brilliant on Hubert's part, brilliant.
Yeah.
So I mean we can't discount that, because if you're pitching that ball into, because if it's Elliott and RJ, receiving the inbound, they're going to double RJ and they're going to pray that you throw that ball into Elliott. And as soon as you do, it's a foul. Then the freshman, yes, he was 5 for 6 at the time, but he's still just a 63% free throw shooter. And in that moment, maybe it was a little too big, or maybe he was just regressing back to the mean. And, Hubert wasn't going to let that happen. So Duke could come back and, for lack of better terms, hack-a-shack its way back into that game.
Right. Right. Yeah. Honestly, I really
that's another answer that North Carolina came up with in the end.
Yeah. Honestly, last year I kind of looked at the floor and I was like, man, in the game in Durham for sure. But I thought, maybe the win, and there's Russ. What's up, buddy? But I thought
Russ.
the win in Durham, John Shire last year, John Shire was definitely out coaching Hubert Davis, and we kind of saw hints of that. But Hubert Davis come out this game and said, "Nah, this is what we are." And I'm tired of all the noise, because that's the talk, man. We've saw all year, ever since Carolina dropped both games last year. Shire 2-0, Shire 2-0. Shire's been talked about. He's getting all the flowers and the pyro and everything for everybody. He's getting the headlines. Coach K's predecessor number 1, but also brand new head coach, got a great team. Number 2 in the nation. Here we go. He's getting all the headlines. People aren't looking at Hubert Davis like that. And maybe it's because his first 2 seasons haven't been great seasons. I understand the miracle run to the championship game, but last year wasn't good. The regular season of that season was not good. But now you're seeing this team. This team is getting talked about.
Hubert's team.
Right. This is the, when he brought in the people that he brought in, me and he was talking. We talk a lot of times when we're on the road because we're both UPS drivers. But when he was bringing in the pieces, I called you and I told you, I said, this looks like he's building the team that he wants, the type of players that he wants. And he had to make some hard business decisions and flush out some people. And that is what it is. And people killed him for it and ridiculed for him. We saw the same thing during the football season. The previous year when a bunch of guys left and they're like, well, what's going on here? It's the end of everything. Like, hold on. Let them get the players that they want in. You see improvement.
Exactly.
This year. Oh my God. Look at this. And now that we've got those guys in, you're talking about a team that can legitimately, in my mind, contend for a national championship. We got to get through the rest of the year, but this is a team that can legitimately do that. And honestly, I don't see why they don't become ACC champs this year.
If you have this Baycott, this type of Baycott on this team with what he has around him, the sky's the limit. Because Baycott has not played like this all season. Then when you got Baycott clicking for 20, then you're not just going to let Baycott go one-on-one with your post player. You're going to do the double team. Well, if you double team, you're either kicking it to Harrison, Cormac, or RJ. Well, what you going to do then, fella? I mean, if Harrison's hitting his shots, that's one person you can't help off of. You can't help off RJ. Help off Cormac if you want to. But then, so you help off Cormac and they pitch it into the other corner for Cormac or Cormac on the wing. If he hits, 3 for 7, 4 for 9, you're that's a recipe for losing, So if you're just going to let Mondo go one-on-one, I'm going to take Mondo 55% of the time. Okay, sure, he's going. The defense is going to get theirs. It's both teams have scholarship players, so the defense is going to have wins. But I'm going to take our guys over their guys 55-60% of the time.
Yeah.
And I think at one point in time, North Carolina's shooting percentage was 51%. I mean, you're scoring once.
As a matter of fact, funny you mentioned that. They finished the night 33 of 66, exactly 50%. There you go.
And you're going to take it.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, you can't say you can't. I mean, you can't help. You couldn't ask for a better 50%. If you're going to say you're going to play this game and you're going to shoot 50%, score 90. You'll sign your name to that thing before you even play the game.
Absolutely, bro.
I mean, the only way it gets better is the North Carolina game at Syracuse where they shot like 60%, and that's just uncanny.
Yeah, that's just unheard of, bro.
But
dude, let's talk about this win moving forward. Okay, so North Carolina takes care of business tonight. This is a big win. This is, and I was talking about it during the live stream that, to me, we played the UConns, we played the Kentuckys, you've played Oklahoma, you've played those types of teams, right? But now, to me, you can play all those games, and we had a great record coming into this game. Well, I think we were 17-4 coming into the game, right? But this is always the measuring stick game because 100%. This one has the most intensity. There's most on the line. You're dealing with adverse situations. The whole game is adverse. More adverse than anything. I think it's more intense than that UConn game, than that Kentucky game, than any of those games that we played. This is it. This is the game, especially when you have to play this game again 8 miles down the road. So what do you think this win implicates for the Tar Heels moving forward?
I mean, this when puts
Shout out to you, Glenn.
gives Duke 3 losses in
Yes.
the conference.
Back
So
again to another 2-game lead in the ACC.
Another 2-game lead.
Mm-hmm.
So if North Carolina handles its business the rest of the season, even if we go into Durham and lose one, we still have that 1-game lead and the series is tied. So North Carolina is automatically going to win the ACC regular season. So I mean, just that alone, this game is huge. But in the grand scheme of things, it's still Duke, North Carolina. North Carolina never wants to lose to Duke ever.
Right.
It doesn't matter if Duke's ranked first and North Carolina is rebuilding and unranked. It always seems that this game plays out
like it did.
Close.
Yeah.
This game was a 10 to 12 point game the entire game up until the last 2 or 3 minutes.
It was.
Or the last 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. High scoring game too. It's very unusual,
was a high scoring
game. High scoring game. Definitely a high scoring game here.
So it was a good offense or bad defense. I guess we'll see next time.
Mm-hmm.
You enjoy it tonight, file it away tomorrow, and it's on to Clemson for Tuesday.
Yep.
So it's a big time win. Go out and celebrate this thing. Enjoy tonight. Enjoy tomorrow. But when North Carolina walks through that door Monday, you got a Clemson squad that was ranked in the top 20 a month or so ago.
Talking about you, bro.
I guess so. I'm hitting dingers all night.
Again, bro. There we go again. There's another one. There's another one for you, man.
Knocking it out of the park, son. Give me the bat and a fastball, I'll slap it 300 feet.
Somebody get a shot back and clean the puke off the floor. That's hilarious. I absolutely love that comment. That's amazing. Hey, let's talk about something a little bit, probably a little bit more serious and unfortunate. The injury late to R.J. Davis was able to get back in there, but you can definitely see the welt that was coming up there.
He probably had a black eye for the Clemson game.
Oh, dude, he had a massive welt on his eye.
Thank you, Seth Trimble.
There. Yes, that's true. Hey, I said it in the live stream. I'm like, you know what? You go up for risk of of glory and hope, but dadgum, sometimes somebody got to catch you, bro. Somebody's going to be down there.
Let's talk about how here's something. Duke fumbled that entire 10-second span.
Mm-hmm.
Filipowski goes to the line for 2, like technical free throws. Front ends the first. Yeah, he makes the second. Then McCain's got the inbounds under the basket, and for whatever reason, he short hops it, and Filipowski fumbles it right to Cormac Ryan.
Right.
That went from a potential worst case scenario 5-point play, and Duke's only down by 4.
Mm-hmm.
To they only get 1 point, and they're still down by 8, and we then have the ball and go score again. So Duke was just you really don't see it, but they were out of sorts in crunch time. And that's credit to the defense. And McCain's a young player, Foster's a young player. So in that environment, maybe they got a little shaky.
Biggest North Carolina fan you ever met. My brother and his wife just spent $2,000 going down there to see. That's the thing, bro. We had a chance to go last year. Very glad that we didn't. But dude, so bad. I honestly, seriously thought really hard about this game going down there. Really did. Oh yeah, obviously.
But they did have like the tip-off club outside the arena that you could watch. You could watch the game outside the arena.
Let's see, oh, boy,
on the big screen outside the arena, right there in front of the steps.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate the subscribe to us, man. Watch those Lakers in New York. That should be a good game. I think LeBron's playing tonight.
That should be. Is he playing? I know he had the ankle injury.
Yeah,
and
also
Anthony Davis
no joke.
This ain't the Lake show.
let's talk about this for a second. 104 of you guys subscribed so far. Thank you all for the support. And
Oh yeah, thank
we've
you so
been
much.
able to keep a consistent number of you guys throughout the streams. It wasn't that long ago we didn't have anybody in the streams, and we could be streaming for an hour. It didn't even matter. But we
Nobody knew
really
it was
appreciate
here.
you guys. Yeah, nobody knew he was here, and we appreciate you guys coming in and having a good time with us. It's been fun, man. This is a great win for North Carolina. It is the win of all wins. It is the rivalry that keeps on ticking. It always gives back to the fans, and fans all over the world or all over the country. Pay attention to this game. I was talking about it in the live stream. We're in a group chat with a bunch of other people that represent different colleges, and they talk about this. I have had so many inboxes and DMs from those guys while this game was going on and the end of the game. It has been absolutely nuts. Can't wait to talk to you guys more about what's going on there. As a matter of fact,
Get into it, son. Let's wrap this thing up. Get into it.
let me do something here, because I haven't officially done this on the channel yet, but I can. I am allowed to do so now. I want to show
Let's
you
do it.
guys. I want to show you guys a little something before we get out of here. I'm going to briefly explain it. I think you know where I'm going with this, Mr. Allen. Quickly add this thing in, and boom, and it's loading in. Oh, Sam
Suspense
Howell
is
and
killing
Drake
me.
May was in
Of course they were,
the.
bro. This is a top 10. This is a who's game.
Hey, speaking of which, while I'm pulling this up, tell the audience what we found out at a place we was eating the other night.
Oh man, let me tell you about it. So me, my brother, our father, my wife, my two kids, or two of my three kids. There's a restaurant. Shout out to the Wagon Wheel.
Wagon Wheel.
Wagon Wheel.
There's another one. Nice shout out
William,
to
but
that one.
shout out to them too. They got great food. Me and my wife, we love the William, but this time
I
it
hadn't
was
been there in
Wagon
years,
Wheel.
bro.
Got excellent chicken Alfredo.
Oh, dude, it was
But we're just
absolutely
sitting
freaking
there,
amazing.
sitting there enjoying our dinner. Then I overhear the owner of the Wagon Wheel's wife saying something to a Clemson fan, like, yeah, Sam Howell's in here, and I'm like, wait, did I hear that right?
Yeah.
I look at my brother. I was like, I look at you, and I'm like, Nathan, I'm pretty sure she just said Sam Howell was either in here or was in here.
Yeah. And for you
Um,
guys that don't know, we live about 45 minutes to an hour below Charlotte, like in South Carolina.
South Carolina,
And we're in a no beat little
nowhere,
town.
nowhere,
Yeah.
down.
The
Like
restaurant,
Lancaster.
the restaurant is in what's called Fort Lawn, South Carolina.
Even
But we
more of
went there.
nowhere.
Even more of nowhere. Literally, I mean, they just put a winery in up there, which that's great, but literally nowhere. So continue on with your story, sir.
So then my brother's like, turns around, speaks to the lady, and was like, did you like? Throws up his like wrist bracelet, 13 Charlie Craft, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Throws up his wrist like, you talking about Sam Howell from North Carolina? And she was like, yeah, you're a UNC fan, and we're like, yes, we are. And then she proceeds to tell us the story about they came in with a couple, and she said, they just introduced themselves as somebody and Sam.
Yeah.
And then she was talking, what's up?
Steven. And yes, they
Uh,
do. Kentucky sucks. Keep on going, brother.
um, and then she was like, I was calling my dog. She was like, such and such is in here from your school. And she was like, oh yeah, she dates Sam Howell that plays football. And
Yeah.
and then she was
And
like,
he said, because they asked her, like, she asked, like, hey, what do you do for a living? He's like, oh, I'm in DC. Just
yeah,
nonchalant.
I'm just
It was wearing slides and like basketball shorts. This dude is amazing, bro. You love that guy. You love
just
him.
cool, just too
He is
cool
no
for
Caleb
school.
Williams.
Just too cool for school, bro.
That's it, man.
And she shows the picture she gets with him, and that it's just an awesome story that Sam Howell's living in a restaurant 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome, man. But really quick before we get out of here, I want to show you guys one thing, and it's something amazing we're excited to announce. But I want you guys to take a look at that for a second. College podcast realignment is coming, and the
It's
Heel
coming.
Brothers are there.
We're a part
Let me
of
read you guys this little quick thing here. We can't go into too much detail yet. We'll be coming soon, but just want to read this little snippet to you guys. This is the post that I put out just a couple of days ago. It says, you've heard of college football realignment. Now get ready for college podcast realignment. Coming soon, there will be a brand new college sports community, and we are proud to announce that us, the Hill Brothers, will be the official North Carolina representative. So stay tuned. Very excited to join up with a bunch of other podcasters, college sports podcasters like ourselves, just having a good time and doing some great things. Going to talk a little bit more about that later, what it's going to be named, what's going to be going on, what that means for us, the channel, what it means for us, the Hill Brothers, boy. It's a good time. Good time. Absolutely, man. These guys are awesome, and I cannot wait for some future collaborations with a lot of those guys, especially when we get into the heap of football season and everything else. It's going to be fun. So be sure and stay tuned to that. I give you guys a little bit of a teaser. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I'm going to do it anyway because I love you guys. We're launching in April. So keep that in mind. Ooh, boy. It's going to be fun, bro.
Might have to pay a fine for that one.
Yeah, might. It's okay. It's all right.
We'll pay that fine for you guys.
That's it. Just for you guys. I love you guys. Anyway, Alan, you got any closing thoughts on Duke, North Carolina?
Go to hell, Duke.
That's it. Go to hell, Duke. Thank you, boy. Oh, man. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Alan, as always, enjoy your evening. Have a good time. And
go Hills, baby.
Go Hills.
Woo!
You don't want love.
I'm good. I was deep. I died. I was deep. I was dying. I was deep. I died. I was deep. I was dying. I was deep. I died. I was deep. I was dying. I was deep. I died. I'm good. I was deep. I died. I was deep.
Go to hell, Duke.